Welcome to EPG Pathshala. This is Module 32 on Open Educational Resources or OER. Gone are the days when one had to trudge to the library and browse through millions of books in order to get any information. Today, knowledge is just a click away. Almost any information or any piece of knowledge that we need is available on the internet. This phenomena is a boon for all, but more so for those in the field of education, as teachers and students can browse the net and use all that information and all the resources for their own. But wait a minute, is this really possible? Can we really take all those resources and use it as if it is our own? The answers to all this is there in this module on open educational resources. The first question which comes to mind is, what are open educational resources? The idea of open educational resources has many working definitions. Often cited is the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation's definition, which defines OER as teaching, learning and research resources that reside in the public domain or have been released under an intellectual property license that permits their free use and repurposing for any by others. Let us see a few more definitions by OER. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, defines OER as digitized materials offered freely and openly for educators, students and self-learners to use and reuse for teaching, learning and research. On the other hand, the Commonwealth of Learning has adopted the widest definition of open educational resources as materials offered freely and openly to use and adapt for teaching, learning, development and research. When we collate all these definitions, we can see that open educational resources include full courses, course materials, modules, textbooks, streaming videos, tests, softwares and any other tools, materials or techniques used to support access to knowledge. When we analyze all these definitions, we realize that OERs can consist of all the digitized material which is freely available in the public domain on the net. They may be simple lesson plans, YouTube videos, online explanations and even full-fledged courses. Thus, from the freely available dictionary to MOOC's free university courses, all come under the purview of OERs. Let us now take a look back in time and see the history of OERs as it has happened from 2002. A large part of the early work in OERs was funded by government institutions and the William and Flora Hewlett Foundations. Between 2002 to 2010, the foundation donated more than 14 million Institute of Technology to develop the MIT Open Courseware. Believing that OERs can widen access to quality education, particularly when shared by many countries and higher education institutions, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO champions OERs as the means of promoting access, quality and equity in the spirit of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In 2003, the ownership of Wikipedia and Wiktionary projects was transferred to the Wikimedia Foundation, a non-profit charitable organization whose goal is to collecting and developing free educational content and to disseminate it effectively and globally. Wikipedia ranks in the top 10 most visited websites worldwide since 2007. The Open Courseware Consortium, founded in 2005 to extend the reach and impact of open course materials and foster new open course materials, counted more than 200 members institutions from around the world in 2009. OER Commons was founded in 2007 by Institute for the Study of Knowledge Management in Education, which is a non-profit education research institution dealing in innovations in open education content and practices. as a way to develop, share and promote open educational resources to educators, administrators, parents and students. OER Commons also provides educators with tools to align OER to the Common Core state standards so that they may evaluate the quality of OER to OER rubrics and contribute and share OERs with other teachers and students worldwide. To further promote the sharing of these resources among educators, in 2008, ICSME launched the OER Commons Teacher Training Initiative, which focuses on advancing open educational practices and on building opportunities for systematic change in teaching and learning. WikiEducator was launched in August 2006 to provide a forum for planning educational projects built on OER, creating and promoting open educational resources and networking towards funding proposals. Its WikiEducator's Learning for Content project builds skills in the use of MediaWiki and related free software technologies for mass collaboration in the authoring of free content and claims to be the world's largest wiki training project for education. By June 2009, the project had facilitated 86 workshop trainings to 3001 educators from 113 different countries. So, how does OER work? Since the material that we can use under OER is all free, one uses it simply by acknowledging the work by attributing it to the original author so that the world knows that you respect the knowledge of others. One needs to just acknowledge the author. Other than that, one is welcome to reuse the content, change it, translate it so that it meets one's needs. This boils down to the motto of don't just take, acknowledge. Create and share your work too. OERs believe in collaborations and thus expect students and teachers to log in and not only use one's work but also share one's knowledge with others. Today, knowledge is available to us at the click of a mouse. Information is getting digitized and almost every bit of knowledge is available on the internet. Students and teachers alike use these resources for educational purposes. Broadly, the OERs can be divided into the following categories. Resources that help in learning the content. These include textbooks, podcasts, videos which explain the content that has to be mastered. Resources that help in evaluating the content. These include quizzes and tests which can be taken online, sample tests, etc. Resources that help in planning. These include planners, rubrics, applications of these rubrics, etc. Resources that help in educational development. This perhaps is the most important role of OER, which can be used by all to develop any topic in depth. Let us look at OERs from the Indian perspective. Mainly aimed at higher education, India's National Knowledge Commission decided in December 2005 to explore opportunities with open education materials in order to understand the implications for extending access and enhancing quality for higher education in India. Following are some of the initiatives in OER in India. National Repository of Open Educational Resources, which is available at www.nroer.in. In August 2013, India launched a new learning repository for open educational resources. The Department of School Education and Literacy, Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India and the Central Institute of Educational Technology NCERT have collaboratively developed the National Repository of Open Educational Resources, which is a storehouse of OER for primary, secondary and higher secondary education in India. The resources available here are licensed under the Creative Commons and can be used and adapted freely with a reasonable amount of citation and linkages indicating where it is from. One can also add to the knowledge and become a knowledge creator. I consent. www.mkcl.org/IConsent. A group of more than 20 educational institutions, non-government organizations and the government have come together to form the Indian Consortium for Educational Transformation, or iConsent, which is working to increase access to quality education through e-learning. iConsent is currently leading 4 initiatives: Virtual Schools and Learning Homes, which is a pilot program in Maharashtra state that offers education to out-of-school children through open and distance learning. Open educational resources, learning materials that are freely available online for educators. Nurturing Excellence and Talent Services, NETS, a training program that teachers to use various tools and techniques to identify and nurture talent in students. E-Teacher Training, an audio program with learner support that provides teachers with knowledge and skills in information and communications technology, open and distance learning, and the development and use of open educational resources. National Program for Technology Enhanced Learning, available at www.nptcl.iitk.ac.in. This is a joint venture by 7 of the IITs and the Indian Institution of Science and funded by the Ministry of Human Resource Development. NPTEL is a trial program which helps provide free engineering education. At present, the program has 120 web-based courses and 115 video courses in the core sciences, computer sciences, civil engineering, electrical engineering, electronics and material engineering. The NPTEL also provides an opportunity for teachers and students from rural areas to learn from these high quality lectures and improve the quality of teaching in these rural colleges. The Eklavya project, www.eklavya.it.iitb.ac.in. The Eklavya project has been launched by IIT Bombay, aims at teaching high quality engineering concepts through this project. The content is developed in various Indian languages and is distributed through the internet. The project also has an open source educational resource animation repository, OSCAR, and provides web-based interactive animations for teaching various concepts and technology. OSCAR provides a platform for mentors, professors to suggest ideas for animation and for developers or students to create content based on the suggested ideas and guidance. Funding for Eklavya and the OSCAR project comes mainly from the private industry. eGrid. eGrid develops and maintains pedagogically sound and refereed educational resources in identified subjects. Subject-specific portals are developed and these portals are governed by subject experts within the program. This project is supported by the Human Resource Ministry at IIIT Kerala. Currently, this program also offers educational resources only in the sciences and engineering sciences. Undoubtedly, using OERs are a great use to all, the teacher or the learner. We now see some of the advantages of using OERs to the institutions which provide the OERs, to the teacher as well as to the learner. Teachers, they get an inspiration and idea for different ways of teaching. They have a wider pool of resources to draw on. OERs help fill the gap in the teacher expertise or the media production skills. For example, we can use video for production. It allows for feedback from peers and learners and for comparing work with others. It provides more opportunities to collaborate with others across institutions, across sectors and subject disciplines. OERs create greater awareness of open educational practices and intellectual property issues, and through OERs, more learners can be reached. For a learner, they get a clearer idea of what it is like to study within a particular institution, subject area or course prior to application. OERs are free of charge and has access to a wide range of educational resources worldwide. Learners can access supplementary resources to support study skills. They have the ability to benefit from the varied perspectives on and approaches to a single subject. The learner can get a curriculum which is integrated into real life experiences. Resources can be accessed in a variety of settings which are useful for non-traditional and work-based learners. They can freely access educational resources without the requirement to enroll to an institution. The institution also benefits in various ways. They have a marketing and a reputation building through showcasing of work of the institution. It helps extending the institution's reach internationally. They can maintain their social responsibility in line with the academic traditions of sharing knowledge. They provide more opportunities to collaborate within and beyond the institution, and it helps preserving knowledge and disciplines where resources are not widely available. There is improved intellectual property management, and it provides new opportunities for staff development. OERs have become the lifeline in the teaching profession. Yet, one must guard against some of the following challenges that OERs face, and we should use it judiciously. The main challenges that an OER faces today are quality issues. Since many OER repositories allow any user to create an account and post material, some resources may not be relevant and accurate. Lack of human interaction between teachers and students. OER material is created to stand alone, and since self-learning users may access the material outside of a classroom, they will miss out on the discussion and instructor feedback that characterizes credit classes, and that makes such classes useful and valuable. Language or cultural barriers. Although efforts are being made to make OERs available in multiple languages, many are available only in English, limiting their usefulness to non-English speakers. Additionally, not all resources are culturally appropriate for all audiences. Technological issues. Some students may have trouble using some OERs if they have a slow or erratic internet connection. Other OERs may require software that students don't have and that may not be able to afford. Intellectual property or copyright concerns. Since OERs are meant to be shared openly, the Fair Use exemption from the US Copyright Act ceases to apply. All content put online must be checked to ensure that it does not violate copyright laws. Sustainability issues. Since OER creators generally do not receive any type of payment for their OERs, there may be little incentive for them to update their OERs or to ensure that it will continue to be available online. So, let us sum up. We have seen what OERs are. We have seen some definitions. We have gone behind and looked at the history of OERs. We have checked how OERs need to be used. What are the various types of OERs that are available? We have gone into detail about the types of OERs which are available in India, and finally, we have evaluated the advantages and disadvantages that open educational resources provide us. We can look at open educational resources as a form of collaboration which can connect people and institutions all across the world. It is a great way for teachers to create and share their expertise globally, and for consumers to have access to global expertise. Thank you.